As you can see, there's a lot of people in the group that are in different leadership positions, supervision positions. Stephen ministers. It's a big ministry and growing. There are a number of Stephen minister caregivers that were unable to attend today. But we want to say thank you to each of you for your willingness to respond to the needs of others, helping them through difficult times, and helping them see God and participate in His redemptive story, the motto of our church. You are the skin of God's love to them. Don't ever forget that. So thank you very much from us two to all of you. So thank you. When someone is a Stephen minister caregiver, it means that family is asked to understand when a husband, wife, father, or mother is away helping somebody else. So, to the family members who are here with a Stephen minister caregiver, we want to say thank you to all of you for your understanding, your willingness to let your loved one spend time with someone who is experiencing a difficult season in their life. Some of you may be wondering, what is Stephen ministry all about? So we finally get to that, huh? In the book of Acts, chapter 6, Stephen and several others were selected to serve and meet the needs of the widows and those Christians in need in the early church. Thus began Stephen's ministry. Today, Stephen ministry is about training lay caregivers to provide high-quality, confidential, free, Christ-centered care to people who are going through a normal life crisis or difficulty, one in which the normal coping mechanisms are in place, and they would benefit from having someone walk beside them as they work through the crisis or difficulty. This process assists care receivers with handling the crisis or difficulty in a healthier manner, generally quicker, and enables them to come out of it emotionally and spiritually stronger. Stephen ministers provide their care to others by meeting with the care receiver for 1 hour or more each week. They listen to, reflect back, pray with and for, encourage, are there for, and refer their care receiver to other services when needed. Stephen ministers are trained to provide 5 types of care: crisis, follow-up, chronic, preventative, and supportive. Some of the following topics that Stephen ministers receive training in are distinctive Christian caregiving, dealing with feelings, the art of listening, we really hone in on that one, assertiveness, meaning relating gently and firmly, maintaining boundaries, confidentiality, because that is very important in our program, cornerstone, mental health and referrals, dealing with depression, grief, suicidal persons, and much more. As you can see, it's a broad swath of needs that we meet. The training does not stop there either. They will receive regular continuing education on relevant topics and supervision and support from the small group supervision team. They generally commit to serve as a Stephen minister for a minimum of 2 years. As you've seen, we've had people here for the entire time since '04. Awesome. This is a big commitment, and one that they agree to willingly do as they fulfill the law of Christ by bearing one another's burdens, which is referenced in Galatians 6:2. Now, Judy and her granddaughter Morgan will perform one last song. Okay, so now we've come to the time where we're going to be giving out the certificates to the newly commissioned Stephen Minister caregivers. So individually, when I call your name, we'd like you to come up here on this side over here by Kelly. They have, being the caregivers, have completed 50 plus hours of training over the last 5 months, meeting basically weekly for 2.5 hours each time. And they will each have the opportunity to say a few words when they come up here if you choose to do so. You don't have to. So we would like to introduce first.
And their families are welcome to do.
Yeah, and your families are welcome to come up and take pictures too. This is why we are a team, see? Gary Baird. Right here. Yes, there's your certificate, and we got a cup for you here. If there's anything you want to say at all.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to hold this original.
I'm going to say a few words because Randy dared me. And I apologize for reading because I am not a public speaker. But I have just a few comments, if I may. The training experience with the Stephen Ministry program is more than I could have ever expected. It was just awesome for those that you haven't had the pleasure. Irma, Heather, Charlie, Kelly, I did that backwards, and Kirk, thank you. It is a privilege to have had the teachings of their faith and what God can do in our lives and for those who we will come in contact with down the road. But it's also wonderful to have made so many friends, and I thank you all. Sorry I had to read it.
Oh. We had you mic'd up. Right on. Yes. Thank you very much. Next, Joanna Camaro. Woo! You have something you want to say? Okay. You either hold it or I can hold it.
Oh, you can hold it.
Okay.
Okay, well, everybody knows I like to talk, so I'm going to go through this really super fast. My name is Joanna. I am married. I have 2 children, 2 grandchildren. I've been attending People's Church for pretty close to 6 years now. I started my journey here attending Women's Alive. At that time, I continued to go to my regular church, but then moving forward, one Sunday I decided to come here, and I got to experience Pastor Dale, and that was it for me. I knew I had found home, and the worship team as well. As of today, I attend church here faithfully. I attend Women's Bible Study and Stephen Ministry. I'm so blessed. First, I want to thank God for finally answering my prayers. I had been praying for a really long time for him to lead me somewhere. I knew I wanted to serve, I just didn't know where. So I have been waiting for Stephen Ministry to come in my life. I also had a sweet reminder from God that it's always on his time. And yet again, it was on his time because I'm here. So as I began my journey with Stephen Ministry, I was 5 weeks late. However, it had no bearing on me. Callie reassured me that I could start when I did and that I would be able to make up classes whenever I had the chance. And so that was good enough for me. The next thing I knew, I was in a room with a bunch of people that I had never met, but skipping forward, I have sat in this room with the most amazing people that I will forever be connected to. The Stephen Ministry has prepared me to walk alongside with someone that God has waiting for me. I know with my whole heart that when that day comes and I approach my care receiver with love and grace, the way God treats us, I know that anything that my care receiver says will stay between us. I know that my care receiver will trust me, and I know that my care receiver may teach me a thing or two. I'm just waiting. Each class has been taught with such patience and most of all with love. Each teacher brought something new to the class. They had no problem sharing in their testimonies or their mistakes. They have prepared us for what we are going to experience. Okay, so Irma, you're super refreshing. James, I don't know, where's James here today?
No, he wouldn't be able to be here.
Okay, well, his smiles. Joseph, you're so soft-spoken. Kurt, straight and to the point. Charlie, when you taught, it felt like we were at church. Callie, your prayers, and sometimes I just want to get you and tell you, slow down. Just going. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. And Heather. Just your hugs and just your prayers. Thank you for teaching me what I know and for helping my life transition as a caregiver, but more so as a human. My soul is full and happy. Heather, thank you. It was you that was at that ministry fair that spoke to me regarding Stephen Ministry and took the time to explain to me what it was all about. Because of that fair and because of you, my life has changed in such a glorious way. And then to my family, I love you all. Alexis, you stand behind me. You're my sweet baby that you encourage me more and more every day. My son David, my husband David. Now I think you might have a better understanding where I've been spending my Thursday nights. I hope this helps you more than you guys will ever know. And to my friends and to my sister, thank you for being here. And just a shout out to everybody who is involved in making Stephen Ministry what it is today. I will never take for granted your hours, the prep time, and all that you put in to all of us. Blessing to all. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Right on. Thank you. Welcome. During the Stephen Ministry training, the trainees become very bonded with each other and many times with the instructors because the instructors teach multiple times. And so you see some of the emotion come out because they do bond and we bond with them, and it really becomes like our own unique little family here. So it's a very special time. Okay, next one, Kathleen Demas. Are you wanting to say anything? Because you don't have to. You do. Okay, you will. Good. Good. Right here. We can get you on camera.
First of all, I would like to thank all of you for being here and supporting us and being part of this wonderful experience with us. I've been a member of People's Church for like 25 years, and I remember Farrell and Mary Lou. We go way, way back. When my daddy died, Farrell did the whole service, and it meant so much to me. And People's Church, I had a terrible water skiing accident in 1979, and this church prayed me to recovery for over a year. I had to learn how to walk all over again. My whole life changed. But here I am, able to walk alongside of somebody else that's broken. And I think the brokenness that we go through in our own life gives us the experience to touch the lives of another human being. And I just want to thank Kelly in Kurt. And he is direct and to the point. That's what I love about him.
I keep hearing this over and over. Is there an issue?
And for my dear friend Barbara, her husband, and Christy for being here to support me. And I love this church, and it's going to be a tremendous honor to serve in this capacity. So thank you.
Amen. Thelma and Louise, huh? Okay. Yeah, we got some new nicknames for you.
We've had them for a long time.
Okay. Okay, next. Randy Eckert.
Well, of course. Hey, buddy.
Congratulations.
Ouch. Yeah, I can speak loud enough. It's a camera, mic, whatever. I know, right? Yes, very direct. Many of you may or may not know this, and I really don't mind sharing this, but Kirk and James, actually I came in when Farrell was getting ready to go out, so I never really got to meet you, but thank you guys for starting this. Thank you guys for getting active and being like what Pastor Dale says, is being that one person, you know, that is willing to step up and do something. Because when I got here, this person right here was me. I was a receiver for James, and then he walked with me for, I don't know, a year, maybe a year and a half, and God bless him, he stuck in as longer than I thought he would make it. And then I went away for a little while and came back to Fresno, and they stuck me with Kurt. And mind you, you know, the background that I have is I'm a recovering alcoholic and drug addict. And Kurt, can I say what you are? He is a police officer. So when I got done sharing my first half of my story, and I looked up and I said, he asked me, so what do you do? And I said, I'm a home inspector. And I looked at him and I go, so what do you do? And he goes, I'm a police officer. And at that point I realized, you might as well just cuff me. I'm going to jail. Student minister in training, he said. No, anyway, I'm really glad that, you know, everybody's here tonight, and that fact that I went from this broken person, for the first time in my life, the whole person. And my dad can testify to that. And Jesus is everything. And without the Lord and without Him sticking with me through this process, because the first time I got asked to be a Stephen minister, I was scared to death and I was looking for every way out. And I did. I ran away from it the first year. And Kurt said, you know, he just kept encouraging me and kept encouraging me. And, you know, and I actually pushed everybody away, and I told Kurt I didn't want to have anything to do with him. And he said, I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to pray for you. I will never leave your side. And I came back 3 months later. My ex-wife can actually testify to the fact that it takes me at least 6 months usually to come back.